People tend to move faster and make more assertive decisions when it comes to spending inside of your business when you are representing your business, your brand, your mission, your ideas, your values, your teachings, not from the head, but from your truest self. And that's really what your Nectar Note is. Anxiety goes down, influence and impact go up. We reduce any desire to imitate some other teacher in our past or some other mentor. We are truly ourselves. If you've ever not enjoyed the sound of your voice, if you've ever tried to impersonate or imitate someone else, and if you've had trouble lately with persuasion and selling in your business, it might be because you're not speaking with your Nectar Note. Hi guys, my name is Kim Fisher. I'm a voice guide and spiritual teacher here to show you how to speak with your full soul and sound so that you can make that impact in your life and in your business or in your leadership as you're born to do. So do me a favor and subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave me a comment below with how you enjoy using your voice in the world. I'd love to know. So what is your Nectar Note? The Nectar Note is the sound you were built to make. Everyone has their own Nectar Note. Everyone has a distinct sound they are created to make. And I don't mean that in a woo-woo spiritual way. I mean literally encoded via DNA. Every single one of us. The DNA has made up our eye color, our hair color. It also makes up the aperture of our throat and our larynx, our tongue, our mouth, and all of those openings are a certain width and length. And as breath moves through that, it's going to create a certain sound, just like when you hear a clarinet versus a trombone. Two different instruments, two different lengths, apertures, etc. They have a different note. And you, my friend, are the same way. You are a unique instrument. There is no one like you on this planet. And so on an emotional level, let's freaking celebrate that because you're super unique. The voice that you're designed to make, you're not making. Very few of us learn how to actually make our originally DNA coded voice. Instead, we're making some other conceptualized version of what we think we need to sound like. But when you create that, when you create this other sound, which is usually up very high, nasally in the head, usually way up here. For women, it's a lot higher. It's very nasally. It's because everything you're doing is forced up here. Your focus, your awareness is up in the head. And so when you speak up here and we raise the tone of our voice, we come across as a little bit more ditzy at times. Not that you are, but people tend to think that when women have a higher voice. It's the facts, right? It's what science and data tells us, even though it's not true at all. So by dropping your voice down to find your Nectar Note, as a result, we will speak with more authority and people will perceive us with the authority that we actually hold, the intelligence that we actually have. Another thing that happens when we don't speak with our Nectar Note is we tend to imitate, like I said. And we imitate, sure, because it's flattery, right? But not necessarily. What we're doing, again, is bringing our awareness all the way up into our head and reciting what we think people want to hear from us and how they think our voices should sound, or how we think they think our voices should sound. So if we are in a position of leadership, perhaps you should be more stern. But also, if you are focused on the fact that how you are and who you are cannot take up enough space. In other words, you are someone who might not convey authority. You feel as though you are someone who does not have the worth or the merits to be taken seriously, then you might end up adopting someone else's voice. I used to do that all the time when I was a yoga teacher. I used to try to sound like my former teacher because to me, who I was wasn't enough. There's no way I could be successful just by myself with my natural voice. I had to adopt a voice that I knew was successful, a voice that I knew had evidence of success in the world. We do this all the time. So if that's you, first of all, I get it. I've been there. Worth is a thing we have to work on. And if you're having difficulty with closing deals, pitching ideas, if you're being overlooked, or you're just like feeling weird about selling in your business, then you need to listen up. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when you learn how to speak with your Nectar Note, selling takes care of itself. Because your voice literally becomes magnetic. Your note, not only are you built to create, and so it feels so good and natural, but your clients and students who are assigned in this lifetime to work with you are going to hear that frequency, the frequency that you are born to make. And they're going to be immediately drawn to you, unreasonably so. They're going to be like, here's my credit card, right? I'll take 10 of whatever you're selling. People tend to move faster and make more assertive decisions when it comes to spending inside of your business, when you are representing your business, your brand, your mission, your ideas, your values, your teachings, not from the head, but from your truest self. And that's really what your Nectar Note is. It's a representation. It's a verbal, sonic representation of who you are. And so the people that are meant to work with you can just hear that, know it, and take faster action. So by finding your Nectar Note, you're going to speak with your original tone. You're going to sound like an original, authentic person. People are going to take you more seriously. People are going to believe you. Your soul-aligned clients are going to find you and want to work with you that much faster. And you're going to have such a more enjoyable time expressing yourself. And that right there is what also makes you potent. And that's why I call it your Nectar Note. It's like a little bee flying to the flower. Life, opportunity, money, love, soul-aligned clients are going to be drawn to you like the bee to the nectar. But most of the time, like I said, we do not produce our Nectar Note. And I'm going to save that for another video as to really why, because there's a lot of psychology behind it. But I will tell you this, and then I'm going to teach you and talk to you a little bit about how to actually find your Nectar Note. The reason we don't truly speak in our natural voice, one, is just because we haven't been taught how to find our natural voice. We've been taught to think about grammar and sentence structure and articulation throughout school, and memorizing quotes and memorizing statistics, memorizing data, and the recitation of that, being able to recite it, being able to verbalize it is what gets us good grades. All of that conceptualization has brought our awareness of speaking and communication and our voice up into the head. And that's why we all tend to speak a little bit higher and as a result, speak faster. But what we want to be able to do as impact-driven leaders and entrepreneurs in this world, which I know you are, is connect with people and pass along not just knowledge, but knowledge and heart and soul. If that's you, put a yes, that's me in the comments. And to do that, what you have to be able to do is drop down out of the head into the body and speak with the body. And it turns out that that is in fact where your truest authentic note, that Nectar Note, is located. It's not a thought. It's not a brain cell. It's not a cognitive function. Your actual ability to produce a sound and produce your frequency belongs in your body. That's the problem. Most of us don't want to drop down below the head into the body, because as soon as you do that, you have to feel. And when you feel, you might actually feel all of your stress. You might feel the worry. You might feel the sense of despair or loss or grief. You might have to actually face your anxiety. And we have a lot going on in our busy lives. So there's a real hurdle there, because to drop down into the body means to slow down. It means to be present. But that's the beauty of it. As soon as you learn how to do it, and we study the nervous system through breath work and somatic work, you will learn to love being in the body. In fact, I will argue there's no better place to be. Whereas before, we abandon the body, go to our head to think and be conceptual and to be competitive and to get an edge up or leg up on a conversation. Really, we need to be in the body, because this is where we can make the fastest decisions that are most aligned with who we're meant to be. And it's that aligned decision-making that is so attractive. It is what draws people in. It's what allows you to say yes faster and know faster. So the nectar note is not just about frequency of words, it's about frequency of who you're being. So to find your nectar note, there's inner work that must be done, but it's also about the production of sound. So I've already given you a little bit of example. When you're not speaking with your nectar note, you're in your head. And so the voice is up because your awareness is up here. But we want the nectar note, and that's down in your body. So the first exercise I'm going to bring you through right now is just a simple humming exercise. We're going to start with a high hum, pitch in the head, and we're going to work our way down. And what I want you to do is imagine that there's a little stone that you just threw into water. At the surface, the top of the head, the stone starts, and then it falls down through the back of the neck and the spine and lands somewhere around the solar plexus or belly. And then we're going to take a breath in and we're going to let that stone sink in the water one more time. And all I want you to do right now is to feel. As you feel the vibration of the hum, just notice the different sensations in your body. And what we're looking for here is a note or a hum or a feeling somewhere around the middle of your chest. For most people, it's around the area of the heart. But for some people, it's lower. For some, it might be a little higher, like the sternum. It's a note that you can sustain. It's a note that feels good. And it's a note that feels pleasurable. You're not straining your throat at all. Start with a high hum, kind of like a hummingbee, the female hummingbee buzzing around your head. Pause, take a deep breath in, going again high to low. Go as low as you can, and then you come up to maybe where it's a little more comfortable, but feel that vibration in your chest somewhere. Pause, all the breath is out, then inhale wide with the lungs. And from right there, you have found your sweet spot. That is the nectar note for you. Wherever it was just easy for you to speak from. So now we're going to add the words. So instead of just humming, I want you to add my name is, and you'll say your name. Okay. This is lovingly borrowed from the great Stuart Pearce. This is how he teaches. Inhale. My name is, and then you say your name. Again. My name is Kim. And this is the tone of your nectar note. It is around that frequency. So of course you can go high and of course you can go lower, but you'll always come back to that baseline. Does that make sense? And it's from here that you will feel like you are actually in control of your voice and you will have the best time speaking. Anxiety goes down, influence and impact go up. We reduce any desire to imitate some other teacher in our past or some other mentor. We are truly ourselves. If you catch yourself speaking outside of your nectar note, just notice and take a breath in and out. And as you exhale, descend the awareness down. Find that area that you know your nectar note belongs to and speak from that frequency and watch the energy of the room shift. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell because every single week, the first and the third Tuesday of every single month, starting next Tuesday, I'm going to be going live on here on YouTube. So you'll be able to catch me, ask me questions. We'll be able to jam out, talk about all the great courses and membership stuff that are coming up and the retreat that's coming up. So Tuesday nights, the first and the third Tuesday of every night, I'm going to be live here. So I'd love to have you. Comment below with your biggest takeaway and what did that feel like for you to produce your nectar note? Is it a sound that you were familiar with or was it completely foreign to you? Did it sound weird to you or did you love it? Let me know. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you next time.